Hey everybody, welcome to my world. I'm quarantined like everybody else and trying to do things that I haven't done for years and been wanting to do. And all of a sudden I had an amen moment here. I had been trying to play lead ever since I was probably 10, 11 years old. And I finally figured it out. Man, it feels good. Now I can play guitar and just feel like I'm writing songs after song. It's really enjoyable. But before I get to the part to where I show you how I did it, I want to introduce you to some of my other guitar friends here. We're down here quarantined, like I said, in the basement of my home dwelling. I've been apparently kicked out of all the bathrooms upstairs and all the bedrooms and living room, the TV room, the kitchen. For some reason, I don't know why, but we need to, put the guitar in the case and get it out of the way. It kind of heeds on cleaning the house. I don't know why we're cleaning the house, but I think she's really looking after me because after all this quarantine, after everybody gets checked negative and we're going back to work, I'm sure there are going to be a whole lot of people come to see us, and I'm thinking she's thinking that they'll trip over my guitars and maybe damage them. She's looking after me, and I really appreciate that. But let me bring out my first guitar buddy here, and we'll see what we got here. Okay, this wasn't my first one, but it's a nice one. I liked it. Been playing it for years. This is a Yamaha. It's a FG 350, and and I'll tell you how I came across it. I was looking kind of sad. Just got my first job, had all this money. Said I've been wanting to play guitar. And to back up a little bit, I did take lessons when I was little, and I was in my 7th year book after 4 years with classical guitar music. And it got to the point the teacher said, I can't teach anything more. If you'd like, we appreciate if you could teach some classes here. And I thought about it for a little bit, and I said, nah, I don't think so. I'm a little bit involved in getting ready to take French horn lessons. And plus I played intramural sports, basketball, and then I played baseball, during the summer, and of course went swimming and all that young kid stuff. But anyway, I got away from that, and the only one that got away from me is my electric guitar, my first one. It was a cheap one, but man, it could play. I can't even remember the name. I think it was an Alt. It was some Japanese brand. Had a double pickup and a thumping bar. Man, had me a nice Fender, a piggyback Fender. I really enjoyed it, and for some reason, after I went through that, got through my lessons, waited a couple, maybe 3 or 4 months, and found some friends that played guitar, and Mike Plate and I, we started a band. We had a band for about 2 years. We had a drummer and a bass player. The drummer was Mike King, and the bass player was Doug Miller, and the lead guitar player with Mike Plate. And Mike Plate's brother Dave, he was a drummer in a band that played locally at the community centers and stuff throughout the area, and we always end up going to watch them play, and that's where I got real fascinated with how to play lead. But for some reason, I could just never figure it out. Now, I'm a real good rhythm player, but man, playing that lead was just didn't make sense. I didn't know where to go on the neck, or what string to hit next, and it was just something else. But anyway, that was I gave everything up around 15. I guess I was 15 years old. And that's when I was almost turned 16. I was going to get a car. I was going to be driving around, and going to these other places and everything. I wasn't going to have time to play guitar and getting ready to go to college and, all the stuff. So it got to be that I was graduated from college, and I was getting kind of lonely. didn't know a whole lot of people where I was staying, but I'd learned them here and there. But I went to a pawn shop. Here I am, walked in, and I saw this guitar all by itself. It was, of course, it was out of tune when I picked it up, and I played around a little bit, and said, man, it's, not too bad. The strings were a little high on it, the action was high, and I said, well, I can get that worked down. And so I went to the pawn shop. I asked the guy, I said, how much do you want for it? He said, oh, I want $75. Oh, I said, well, that's a little steep, isn't it? I said, for a Japanese guitar? Well, what do you give me? I said, well, I'll tell you what, if you got a hard shell case and you throw it in, I'll give you $65. Deal. So I walked out, got me a nice used guitar and brand new hard shell case, and had it ever since. It's been around with me for a long time, and it became my go-to. Playing music is really relaxing to me. I enjoy it very much, and it comes down to where I thought maybe I'd get involved in maybe get another band, and of course things get busy. You're trying to work, trying to make good in the world and all that. But I always found time to play guitar wherever I went, whatever state. And I always played guitar, whether I had one with me or not. If nothing else, I'd go to a guitar store and say, hey, can I play that one? And sure, they bring it down. And I was in Nashville one time and saw a really nice Gibson. I mean, it was like a sunburst Gibson acoustic. Now, of course, it was about 3 rows up. I couldn't reach it, so I had the guy, bring it down to me, and I played it. And man, the action on it was real low, and man, it sounded real good. I mean, it was already in tune. I didn't have to tune it or anything. It was good. And I said, by the way, how much did that cost? And he pulled that tag a little bit and said, only $2,300. I said, oh wait, take this before I break it. I was afraid I was going to have to end up walking home with it. But man, I was wanting that real bad. But I stayed with this one. It's done its purpose. But anyway, got my first job and working this guy Bill Meadows out in the warehouse. He just joined us, and I was in sales. He was in the warehouse, and it was late one Friday night. We were trying to close the gate and close the place down. And he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I might go out and drink a couple beers somewhere or do something." He said, "You don't play any instruments, do you?" I said, "Well, I play guitar once in a while. I hadn't played for a while. I got to the point that I just pick it up and tune it and play a couple songs and put it back down." But he said, "Well, every Friday we, over at my place we play guitar, country." Oh, well, yeah, okay, I can do country. I'm more of a classic rock, the Eagles, Allman Brothers, like that. He was more into George Strait and Johnny Cash. But they're good. I like them. I enjoy all kinds of music. And anyway, he said, "Come here, we drink some beers, and after we played for 3 or 4 hours and got a little buzz going, we go over to a beer joint called Davis's." And I said, "I've heard of Davis's, but I've never been there." I said, "Where do you live?" So he gave me his address, and I dropped over there, and man, we got drinking some beer and playing, and man, for some reason, everybody was impressed with this guitar. The sound, I call it, Boxcar Willie. I mean, it's a box, got that deep sound, deep thrust, and everything just, real nice and soft. Could be soft, playing hard, and it got to the point that Bill Meadows, he had a Gibson 6-string and a Gibson 12-string, and he liked this guitar so much that he wanted to trade both of them for it. I said, "Well, wait a minute." I said, I hadn't even played your 12-string. I don't even know what it was like. Anyway, we traded for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and Gibson was nice. The 12-string was kind of inconvenient. It, for some reason, 2 or 3 of the strings wouldn't stay in tune, so I had to keep tuning it, to get it to sound good. But it was a nice guitar, and but as you can see, I still got boxcar here, and yeah, we made our circuit, throughout the state of West Virginia, in different places. But it gets to the point that you think, well, you're gonna keep on playing or you're not, and of course the company got bought out, and I moved on, and Bill moved on. We never got back together. But funny story I want to tell you. At the Davis, at the pub, it was run by lady, sort of like Kitty on Gunsmoke. Her name was Dottie, and man, we walked in there, and first time I've been there, and I walked up to the bar between these two guys, and Dottie came over and said, Budweiser? And I said, yeah, Budweiser, that'd be great. And I said, man, how did she know that I like Budweiser? Man, I mean, she was, pretty good. And, I was saying it to myself. I didn't realize I was saying it out. And the guy was at the bar, sitting, turned to me, said, don't feel special. Everybody that comes in here, she asks Budweiser. So I said, well, okay, good to me. And then you look around, and everyone was drinking Budweiser. I don't know what it was about Budweiser. I think she might have had part ownership in the Budweiser distributor. Who knows? But anyway, it was a fun time. Had shuffleboard there and darts, and got to meet some other friends that end up, some of them moved to Myrtle Beach, and I stayed with them. Steve Hill, one of my good friends from Huntington, he moved down there and opened up a restaurant, and with him and 3 or 4 of the other people from Huntington, it was like homecoming. Every time I went down there, go down there and play golf and have breakfast and what have you. But it got to the point that I almost quit playing guitar. There's just nothing I could find time for. I couldn't get to open up the case to see what's going on. But anyway, to make a long story short, Boxcar Willie kind of went silent for a couple years. But I had a friend of mine back home. He wanted to introduce me to this girl that he worked with his wife, and Roy. He just kept insisting that I need to meet her. And he tried to explain to me she had beautiful eyes and beautiful body and good personality and everything. But the thing was, his wife was, for lack of a term, I mean, she was a bitch. And I said, well, figure if she's a bitch, she's probably a bitch too. And I didn't want to waste my time. And anyway, he kept trying to get me to go up there. So I said, well, okay. All right, I'll tell you what. I'll come up. I'll drink. We'll meet at a bar, at the Blender Hazard bar. Blender Hazard Inn. And I said, I'll drink 2 beers. And if I don't like what I see, I'll leave. So anyway, sat down there, and we got there early. And then I think there's 3 or 4 girls walked in. Shit, I was trying to figure out which one it was with all the description that it gave me, and I finally zoned in on the one I thought, and she came over and sat down and introduced herself, and we got talking, and next thing you know, it's getting late, and found out there was another party at a guy I knew up in Vienna. So we went up there and partied up there for a little bit, and next thing you know, it was getting late, and I had no place to go at the time. And anyway, we've been together ever since. So, rule of thumb, drink 2 beers. If you don't like what you see, leave. Go find something else. Anyway, got to meet her dad. Her dad, Bob Ashley, was probably one of the best string instrument player in all West Virginia. And I'm talking, he came from Cowan, Summersville area, Braxton County, that area up there, Summersville. And he could play anything that had strings on it. Dobro, violin, banjo, guitar, mandolin. I'm not sure, I didn't see him, but I'm sure he played a steel guitar. but he didn't have one, so I didn't get a chance to play one either. But yeah, he probably taught half the guitar and banjo players in that area of West Virginia. Because you'd walk through and somebody would come up, we'd be downtown or something. Bob and I, we'd be going to different stores, picking stuff up or whatever, and somebody'd come up and he'd introduced me that this is his daughter's boyfriend, and he's like, yeah, Bob taught me how to play guitar. Bob taught my cousin how to play the banjo. Bob did everything as far as instruments in that area, and he was good. I mean, he would come up and we'd play. Now he liked bluegrass. I liked listening to bluegrass. I wasn't too keen about playing, but once you hear him play, you want to play it all the time. He was so smooth, and he played songs that you could relate to. Anyway, he'd come up, and every weekend that he'd come up, we'd start playing. We'd play maybe an hour or so before we eat, and then after we got the kitchen cleaned up, we'd play for another 2 or 3 hours, and sometimes 4 or 5. Of course, my fingers would be getting sore, and he'd just keep on playing. And he was good. He taught me some songs, and we got playing so much bluegrass that the next time he'd come up, and we'd get our guitars out, make sure we was in tune, and he would say, "What song you want to play?" And of course, I like Blue Moon of Kentucky, a couple others. And of course, oh no, let's play this one. And so we'd bring out another one, and we'd start playing it. And it got to the point I couldn't remember all the songs that we played. So I wrote them down. I got a notebook over there, and it has, I'm sure it's got 35, maybe 40 songs, and I put down the key that was played in. So I would know, if we wanted to sing that song, we had to sing it in the key, and then if we had to use a capo for him to be able to reach the voice, in that song, and it was a pleasure, to really play with him. And of course, he passed away, but he was a good man, good father, and he was really a good person. And I'm sure up in heaven, he's up there. He probably already met John Prime and Bill Withers. There's 2 other guys, really good players. And they kind of passed away too, and they were really good. So I'm hoping him and Bob are together up there playing. Anyway, they had what they called the Ashley family reunion, and thank God it's only once a year, but it was a big thing. We had relatives. They had relatives from 4 different states. We all get together. And it seemed like everybody in that family played guitar, violin, or banjo. And it was like, I know one time it was up in Williamstown, West Virginia, at a hotel. And we had a little area that we could, get our instruments out and play. And man, we all started walking in there, and everybody got their guitars and stuff out. It looked like we was a, small guitar store. But anyway, we started playing. And everybody, of course, we left the doors open, and all the other guests, they heard the music. Some of them liked it, some of them didn't, but they'd come in, they'd listen for a while, and then they would venture out. And then, of course, some of them go out and bring 4 more people in. We thought we needed to start putting a hat out and see if we could get anybody to donate any money, but we'd have a good time too, so we didn't quite do that. But anyway, Bob was real concerned that I'm really a good rhythm player, but we had at least 4 guitar players already, and he said, "You ever play a mandolin?" And I said, "Well, I played a little bit," and that was my friend Bill Meadows, because one of the other guys, Robert, he had a mandolin, and I'd pick it up when my fingers got tired playing guitar. I'd pick it up and just kind of note pick it, and it was it was something I didn't really play it with them, but I learned a couple chords on it and was able to start to figure out the sequence on it, and it would happen to be something I did. But so he got what he called a potato bug, and I can't explain any better that it's just it's a pregnant pair, a mandolin with eight strings, four strings to a piece, and that thing was so, the action on it was so high that I'd play it. Matter of fact, let me get the one I got now, and I can explain a little bit better what I'm talking about. Just hold on a second. We'll put old boxcar back. He's been out for a while. He's enjoying this. Alrighty. This is I guess it'd be my second brand new. It's a Kentucky Gentleman. I wanted to get one with the F shape where it went all the way down here and everything, but there were 3 Kentuckians and 2 Gibsons, and it was down to this Kentuckian and one in Kentucky that was more expensive than this one, and this is the one that I got. And when we walked out the store, of course, Bob said, "You got the right one." Because when you buy an instrument, you gotta buy it, for the tone. You don't buy it for the looks. You don't buy it for how much it is, but you buy it for the tone. If it sounds good, it sounds good. But anyway, the action was so high on this mandolin, this potato bug, that it was like vice grips to get to be able to note it. And of course, I practiced and build up my strength and everything in the fingering. But and I could play, up here. And then those are the low string. They're easier to finger. I can play those all day long. But when you get up on the top 2 strings, you're playing an A here and G, A, and then. But you play those high strings, man, they tear into your fingers. It was like misery, and it really made me mad. Because we played this group, Ashley group, we always played a lot of them in D and G. And then someone get a bright idea, let's play it in A. And so, they wanted me to go up here and play this high stuff. And I didn't mind it, but man, after an hour or so, I was done. I couldn't play anymore. My fingers just wouldn't take it. So I'd kind of cheat a little bit. After playing for a while, I learned that I could move it up 2 frets and I could play A up here. And nobody noticed it at first, but then they started noticing. They said, "Why don't you go down there and play the high A?" I said, "I don't think so." But anyway, this is a fun instrument. I really Bob and I, we played a lot of. And what really made, it didn't make me mad. I knew I wasn't as good as Bob was, but when we quit playing in the evening and put everything away the next morning, of course he gets up early. Man, I could hear a little tone going. He plays it real soft. And I went down, and here he is playing my mandolin, and he's playing it like I'd never seen one played before. I was like, man, and of course he's playing all the way up, way up here and everything. And I was like, man, I wish I could do that. And I'd watch him, and I picked up a couple things from him, but I didn't have enough time to, learn what I need to. But since I'm hunkered down here, maybe I'll get a chance to play a little bit. But I'm still wanting to show you what I did and how I got there playing the lead on an electric guitar. Man, it is super nice. Anyway, got a couple other guitar people here I want you to meet. Now things got a little lonely, and that boxcar Willie, man, he was too big. I couldn't sit in my seat upstairs, and you know, if a song would come on TV, you know, in a movie, or maybe I was watching some special on TV, I couldn't get that boxcar, get my arm around it and sit in the seat and be able to play around. So I thought I'd get me a smaller guitar, smaller in size, one that I could work with in my chair while I watch TV. I mean, it's kind of strange, but yeah, that's where I was at the time, and went down to a guitar store in D.C. It's one of the oldest in the area, and it was and they had guitars everywhere, but the ones that they had out had nothing, you know, my size, and so they had to go up three floors that you're not allowed to go up to. They had to go up and bring it down. They got, it was like 5 floors of guitar instruments, and they had the right size. They had a Gibson, a Taylor, and then one other. And I was kind of going, that Gibson sounded pretty good, and that Taylor was the Taylor a little twangy. I wasn't quite ready for that. I said, you got anything else? And he said, there was this company just formed, not maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. Apparently it was a Gibson and 2 Fender guys, or 2 Gibson guys and a Fender. They went together and formed a company called Johnson. Anyway, he brought it down, and I started playing it. Of course, the action on it was too high for me. I like low action, and he told me how much it was, and I think I got him down $20. I knew I was getting a good guitar. Price was in the price range I was looking at, so I wasn't going to just deal. I wanted to get it and get it out. So we finalized on it. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you this if you'll go ahead and work it down, get the action a little bit lower. Can you do that? They said, yeah. And I said, how much does that cost? I said, no, we'll do it for free, and it'll be ready in 4 or 5 days. Great, man. I got it, and got me a hard shell case, and brought it home. And man, I played. I don't know. I must have played a year and a half. Solid. I get really good on it. But the reason why I bought it was that of course, I can't play lead, but I can play arpeggios. And so when I played arpeggios, it had a nice sound to it. But the main reason I got it, it had the sound that I was looking for. The Eagles, there's some United album tour or whatever, they decided to play Hotel California in a Spanish style. And I thought, man, that sounds really good. But I couldn't figure out what this F sharp major. I couldn't figure out what that chord. I had all the other chords, but I couldn't figure out what that chord was. So I broke down and finally found something on the internet. I found that chord, and arpeggios. man, odds in heaven. So anyway, that's where we stand with that one. It, if you guys don't mind, if you think what to call Johnson here, I didn't have a name for him. He just happened to be something I found that I like, and I hadn't gave him a name yet. But he is a nice one. He deserves a name. Everyone else here has a name, and I think he needs one too. So if you'll, at the end of this, you'll comment down there and tell me what name you think would be good for him. I'll let you know in the next video which one, that I went with. Well, it got to be that everything was going good. Yeah, my daughter's growing up. We went through all the soccer and track meets and cross country meets and all the growing up stuff. And we stayed pretty busy. Didn't even get a whole lot of time to play guitar, so it was a while before I played. Anyway, my dad passed away, and of course I had to go back to West Virginia and help clean it out, and it was a mess, to say the least. And it was something that I don't wish on anybody. But when I was playing guitar when I was little, taking those classic guitar lessons, he made some kind of comment that there was a nice guitar at Sutter's music store, and when I was young, I finally got up there and looked at it, and it was a Gretsch Country Gentleman, and I thought, wow, he's talking about that. My birthday's coming up, maybe we'll get it. Our Christmas is coming up. I thought he was hinting that he was going to get it for Christmas. Well, he didn't get it. My birthday was a month later. He didn't get it for my birthday. So anyway, I always had the desire to, buy a Gretsch Country Gentleman. Chet Atkins, Roy. There's just Eric Clapton. A lot of people played the Country Gentleman. It was a go-to guitar. Anyway, I went to the CA House music store in Park Road. After being in there for 2 or 3 days, digging around, getting rid of stuff, I decided to take a break, and I went up to the net, got me a beer and their famous cheeseburgers and fries, and went to the music store, just to see what they had. Now, I wasn't planning on buying anything, but it's still, I was thinking, man, it would be nice to get a nice electric guitar. So, this is not quite the Country Gentleman, but as you can tell, it is like one model down from it. Not expensive as a Country Gentleman either, but it has a real good sound to it. I thought, well, I'm going to be running a little bit extra money here. Of course, I had the money anyway, but I thought, he said he was going to buy me that Gretsch Country Gentleman guitar. And so anyway, I walked in there, and of course, they had a bunch of Fenders and Gibsons and acoustic and electric, and if they'd had a Country Gentleman, I probably would have paid the money, for it, because I always wanted one. They didn't have it. They had this one, and I played this one. And Ryan, the guy that I was working with up there, and if you ever go there, music store, say a house in Parkersburg, ask for Ryan. Ryan is the best guy ever. I mean, he knows his instruments. Anyway, I started playing it, and the more I played it, the more I liked it. And And I asked him, I said, how long would it take to get a country gentleman in? He said, and I wasn't sure what that long drawn out was, but apparently they were having some shipping problems, and they said it'd be about 2 or 3 weeks. I didn't know how long I was going to be, in Parkersburg. I didn't want to have to make an extra trip, come back to buy a guitar that I really didn't need but didn't want, but bought one anyway. So looked at this one, played it, liked it, had him lower the action on a little bit, and picked it up 3 or 4 days later, a day before I was coming back for my 10th, 20th trip that I've been to Parkersburg, trying to finalize everything. And oh man! And then I got this PV 100 amp, the VIP 100. He suggested I should get it, and of course that's the one I was playing on when I was playing this. I said, well, if it sounds that good, I was a Fender man myself, but I've heard of them. I never really played instruments through one, but it has like 32 presets on it, and more stuff than I could maybe even think of, and so anyway, brought it home, and it got to be, I'm not a loud player. I'm only loud if I have to be, so I can hear someone trying to outplay me. I'll turn up a little bit. So I like to hear myself, and like I say, I'm a good rhythm player, and I got to hear myself playing to make sure I'm in time. Anyway, this thing's so loud. I can't remember if it's got 20 watts per amp or speaker or 30. It might be even 40. I think it's 20 though. But it's such a little thing. I don't even have it up to. I'm not even up to 1. I'm somewhere between 0 and 1. And I got it turned down a little bit on the guitar in case I want to crank it up a little bit. Anyway, wait a minute, how loud can this thing go? So I cranked it up about 4, and I was playing. I can't remember what song I was playing, but I was jamming. I was maybe playing I was playing something like that with a hard beat to it going, and had up to 4 or 5, and everything was vibrating. I mean, everything was jumping, vibrating, and my wife came down, and I was playing, and I thought maybe she was, man, that sounded really good, and she's looking at me, but she was saying something, and I wasn't very good at reading lips, but I think she was saying, are you okay? I thought we was having an earthquake. But no, apparently not, because when I stopped, she said, can you turn it down? I said, yeah, I can turn it down. And as she kind of walked away, I could hear her say, if he turned that back up again, I'll kill him. But I think she really said, I hope he doesn't turn that up again, because I'm afraid he may hurt himself with that earthquake. Anyway, I keep it at a nice level, and I always call this is a kind of a Willie Nelson, called the Redhead Stranger. Because I got it when I brought it back home, and I got finished with all the stuff in West Virginia. I played it. I don't know. I played it just about almost every night, and then it got to the point that I couldn't. I wasn't able to find time, and that another reason. Nobody to play with. And I got tired of playing with myself. By myself all the time. But anyway, I like it. And it's a nice guitar, and I really enjoy it. Now, I was telling you about my dad, passing away. If you are like a lot of parents of our age, they tend to watch, Fox News. And word of advice, when this quarantine lifts up and it's safe to travel and go out and visit people and everything, go to your parents' house and and lock out Fox News. That would be the best thing you could ever do, because Hannity had a talking about this is back when Obama was president. He was talking about how the U.S. dollar wasn't worth shit, and that Obama was driving the economy into the ground. And then about 20 minutes later, a commercial came on that some outfit out in California. Well, praise the American U.S. dollar is not worth anything. Say what value you have left and buy gold and silver coins. Cause we will make you a deal and such and blah blah blah. Anyway, he had a substantial amount of money in there, and fortunately, he said he thought he made a mistake. Told me what he did, but he hadn't gave final approval to it yet. He wanted me to look into it, see if it was a good deal. Well, first of all, I was shocked that he's putting that kind of money in it. But anyway, it's his money. It didn't bother me. And my God, they were ripping him off. I took all the coins that he was supposed to get, and just went on the internet. And I could have bought the same amount of coins, everything. They had 40% less than what they were going to give him, and for the amount of zeros that he was going to buy a bunch of coins, he should have got a better deal, a lot better deal than that. They have to have your approval before they send it. Now, once they send it and you get it, they will take it back. But there's a 20% restocking charge, and they only give you the value of the coin at the time that you return it. So silver and gold coins, they fluctuate all the time. But we never did. I got involved in it. Probably about 6 or 8 months. It really started to piss me off. Internet, phone numbers, text messages, and we went through like 4 different deals. Oh, well, we couldn't get those Eisenhower $50, but we had these others. I said, well, how many of those you got, and what else you gonna send? And did this about 4 times, and every time it was anywhere from 20 to 40% higher than what I could buy myself. Buying a $1,000 of, I could save money. Anyway, I started to ask Dad if he wanted to buy them from me. I could have easily made 30%, but he had to get his money back because he already sent him a cashier's check. So anyway, we finally got them, and they said, "Well, your dad has to deny the order before we can get your money back." I threatened with the Attorney General, both states, both West Virginia and California, and they finally and then I think I ended up sending them a letter. I didn't get an attorney, but I had one on hand that I gave them the name. I used one in Parkersburg, and because if we're going to have to do it, it had to be in West Virginia and not Maryland. And it was, I just mentioned the name and his telephone number. I didn't say that I'd talked to him yet, but it'd been the one I'd use anyway. They finally gave him his check. It took 2 checks for some reason. The coins, they got the coins in 2 different places, and you got money from one and money. Anyway, it took 2 checks, and he got his money back. But then there was another company. He was a big hunter, and there was a antique gun, gold plated, heritage. You can buy it for your family. It'll stay in your family treasure forever. You can pass it down from kid to kid, grandkids. And this was a Second Amendment classified Second Amendment rifle, 30-30, and he got the one that was one out of 100 out of the Wood County, the county that he lived in. And he paid boogo money for that too, and it wasn't, it wasn't even worth half of what he paid for it. Anyway, he gave that to me. Bought a gold plated pistol and gave that to my brother, and my brother sold it immediately after Dad passed away. Anyway, I tried to sell this damn rifle, and I knew I couldn't bring it home. A couple of things: if I brought it home and put it over the mantle, I was afraid Mom would find a bullet and shoot me. She'd say it was self-defense. I brought a gun in the house, or somebody be visiting us and see a gold-plated rifle above the mantle and think that's worth a whole lot of money, which it's not. They may come back, break in, and steal it. And I didn't have to worry about that. Anyway, I wanted to get rid of it before I finalized in Parkersburg. So the last week I was there, because 2 or 3 months prior, I had the gun shop that brought it in, because licensed dealers have to bring guns, have to sign the guns, and then deliver it to the customer when it's bought from out of state. They sold guns, and I said, put this on your web page or whatever, and try to sell it. And I was going to give it away for 3/4 of what Dad paid for it. And he said, well, we'll see what happens. And 3 months or 2 months, I said, well, drop it down to 50%. And I figured that last month it'd be 3 or 4 people, and then they might get a bidding war and get a few more bucks out of it. But that didn't happen either. Anyway, I finally got in there the last week that I was going to be there and got it. And I said, would you want to buy it? Well, not really. I said, well, no, I can see why. Because on that Woodstock, at 1 out of 100, it didn't matter whether it's Wood County or Parkersburg or West Virginia or Colorado. They could put any number on there that they want to all these different. It could be Hawaii, 1 out of 100 for Hawaii. Anyway, I took it and thought, well, what am I going to do with it? And it got to the point that I made a list of all the gun dealers in the area, Marietta, Parkersburg, Williamstown, and there were 2 antique gun collectors and 2 gun shops. And I made a point to visit all 4 of them. And I had one guy that might have been interested in it. He wasn't there when I got there, but his wife and we took a picture of it and sent it to him by phone. And he said, no, I'm not interested. So that was my last go around. And I got thinking, back where I took my guitar lessons when I was a kid, down at Wendell's Piano Store, was a pawn shop. And I thought, well, I'll just pawn it off. I don't care what I get out of it. Whatever I get out of it, I'm not coming back to buy it. And that's what pawn shops are for. Get rid of stuff you don't want to get some extra money. So I drove straight down there. It was no, I waited the next day and I went down there. I think probably went later around 5. I had just other stuff to do around the house before I left. And I got down there around noon. And I walked in and said, would you guys be interested in a antique collector's item rifle, gold plated? And the guy said, well, I'm not sure, but the guy that does that is out. And I thought, well, shit, he's going to be out for a day or whatever. I said, do you know when he's coming back? And he said, he's coming back in about 30, 40 minutes. I said, okay, I'll just walk. You still got the guitar place? Your guitar's over here? And he said, yeah. So I said, I'll just go back there when he comes in, just let me know. So I went back there, and I was, oh, shit. There was a Fender Stratocaster. I go, oh, I got nothing else better to do. So I went, picked it up, and I said, well, shoot, this is nice. And the only problem is that it's made in Mexico. I thought, well, I'm here to play it. I don't need another electric guitar. I got a good one. I got the Redheaded Stranger. So I picked this one up, and it was it sounded good. I went through all the knobs, everything, the frets. Yeah, they were clean and smooth on the sides, and I bought it, and I thought this was really nice. It's better than the one I played when I was younger. When Mike played, he let me play his a couple times, and his was really really nice. Anyway, the guy came back. We started dealing on that rifle, and he was looking on the internet trying to figure out what could be a good price on it. He said, I don't think I can give you quite the money that you want out of it. I said, well, what can you do? He said, well, I'm not really sure. But I said, I'll tell you what, maybe we can make a deal this way. I said, what kind of trade can we do with that Fender amp and that Fender guitar? He said, well, yeah, I think we can do something. I said, yeah. And he told his buddy to go back and get the tags off the Fender amp and the Fender guitar. And they came back and we started talking, and he said, yeah, I don't want to cheat you out of that gun or anything. I said, whatever you think's fair. I said, I'm not one that wants to keep it. I said, I'd rather have someone that wants it to have it, as opposed to me taking it and not wanting it. He said, whatever you can work out. He said, I'll tell you what, I want to be fair. I want you to think that I didn't take advantage of you. I'll give you the guitar and the amp, and I'll give you $100. I said, oh. I said, what? My tongue about fell out, and I about stumbled. And I said, does the guitar have a case? He said, yeah, we got one. And he went back and got it. And I forgot to tell you, they didn't have the arm on it. And I thought, the tremolo arm, and I knew I could buy one, but when you open up the case, there was the tremolo arm, and I thought, man, this is really good. So I got it, walked out, and he helped me. He carried the amp out, I carried the guitar out, and put it in the back of my car. My car was all, messed up, so I had to mess some stuff, around to get the fit in there. And he said, don't leave. I said, well, I'll be here for a while. So I don't want you to miss your $100. So he went in and got the $100 and brought it back up to me when I was trying to arrange, put the guitar in and whatever. But anyway, I went to CA House Guitar and got Ryan. I told Ryan, I said, I got this guitar through a trade. I didn't really need it, but it was the only way I could make the deal work. And I said, can you lower the action on it? And he said, well, let's take a look at it. And open up the case. This is how good Ryan is. He says, oh yeah, that's a 2002 cherry red Stratocaster. And he didn't even have to look. He said, and made in Mexico. I said, well, that's pretty good. So anyway, I told him, I said, just lower it and make sure that next everything's good on it, and fix whatever it needs to be fixed, because it's going to be a while before I'm back in town. So he said, well, check back in a couple of days and ask for I think it was Jim or Bob, I can't remember. He said, I'm going to be off for about a week, but one of them will have it for you and they can get it for you. Anyway, I came back, and Jim brought the guitar out, and I told him to put new strings on it and everything else, and had it all ready to go. And got out, didn't plug it in, just played it, make sure the action on it was good, and it was much better than what I expected. Anyway, Bob said, Ryan wanted me to tell you, whatever you do, or whatever, you got yourself a really nice guitar there. And so that made me feel better. But anyway, to get back to the aha moment that I had, I've been trying to play lead, like I said, all my life. And it got to the point that I couldn't figure out where to go. But hopefully I can put there's a couple of people I've been watching on YouTube. I get in that rabbit hole, go down there, and what I'm going to do for 6 hours. So, YouTube on guitars, and of course fishing and golf. But most guitar, I've been wanting to learn how to play lead. And I use Griff Hamlin blues. I use Active Melody. He plays a lot of cage music, cage of the chord cage, and playing lead, leading into those. And then I found this other guy is called Bill's Guitar, and he told me and showed me how, that if you use you got to learn all these boxes and what have you, and of course I did that, but I play a box, but I couldn't get the sound that I wanted, and but anyway. But Bill had the, he introduced me to play A minor, box 1. And then also you can play A major, box 1. And all you do is just move, this is A here on your pointed finger. Just move your little finger down to it and play. And that's A major, and there's enough music between those two boxes that you could write 1,000 songs. And but the one that really got me where I wanted to be was, and B.B. King is probably one of the best blues guitar players, and he has what they call the B.B. King house. It's 2 strings, 1 fret in between, and then the 3rd string is the point of the house. But anyway, you can go from there, box 1, major, minor, and then you can play up and down the neck and play about as good music as you can possibly think of. So let me put on Jam Trap here. This jam track is from Quinzo, and if I get an opportunity to put it on this before I send it out, I'll put links to all the ones I've been using. And oh, and by the way, this Red Cherry Fender doesn't have a name too. If somebody can come up with a name for it, I thought I'd call it about Wild Red Cherry Buddy, but I don't know. It's not a name that quite stuck yet, but it's right now it's this Red Cherry Buddy. So if you got something better, put a comment. I'll take it under advisement. But anyway, we're gonna play a B.B. King style blue backing in A, and I'm impressed. I'm gonna miss a couple notes, but what I'm able to do, I can go up and down the neck and play what I want to. And for future reference, if you hit the like button and hit the bell, later shows I will show you how to find the notes in those 2 boxes, and you want to play 1, 4, and 5 notes in whatever key you're playing in, and I'll show you where those notes are. And whatever key you play in, those notes are in the same place. If you can find where the root is, those other 4 and 5 are in the same area, and that's what makes it. Could get something to go back to. Anyway, let's try this out. Okay, what we got going here? Yeah, that's never happened before. All right. As you can tell, this is the first time I've ever done this. I mean, I'm fascinated. I got this far, but anyway, let's see if I can get this moving here. Here we go. There we go. Okay, this guy, Quistorian Ram, they always play what a lead would sound like, playing the C. I always let them play first. I try to play with them. Yeah, always play on your root first. that is all I got to show you. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a good time. And in the future, I'm going to try to show a little bit anything different that you want to hear. Please leave it in your comments. I'll try to give you some ideas of how I got to this point. It was it just happened. I finally got to where I want to be. I can play songs that I like to play, and maybe hopefully in this recording, and I call this place down here the RBRS. Or I'm sorry, I call it the Rust Basement Recording Studio. I got down here. I finally came down as a squatter, got me a few square feet down here. I'm going to be working things around, getting things set up so I can be a little bit more adaptable in what I'm trying to do. Don't have any recording studio except for the phone and a tablet, but I'm sure as things get better and everybody likes what they're hearing, I'll be a little bit more aggressive and get you guys what you want to hear. Anyway, thank you very much, and make sure you leave comments. Make sure you subscribe if you want to hear the future shows here, and I'll be glad to see you then. Have fun, be safe, and wait until everything is lifted before you go out and socialize. Take care.